I am in favor of and believe strongly that we have got to legalize marijuana. And it has led to the criminalization of and contributed to the problem of mass incarceration in our country, and has led disproportionately to the criminalization of young black and brown men in this country. So there's that. There is the broader point about the failed war on drugs. There's no question it was a failure. And part of the problem was that what is essentially a public health issue became a criminal justice issue. And then now, thankfully, some have evolved around the opioid issue. But look, where were they when we had what was called the crack epidemic, right? And so we know that this is a system, in particular around the criminalization of drug use and possession, that has been infected by racial bias. And we have to speak truth about that. We have to speak truth in terms of the way that enforcement happened and what the result was in terms of mass incarceration. So one, we need to decriminalize and actually legalize marijuana use. Second, we need to deal with the real issue, which is the issue of undiagnosed, untreated trauma, in particular in poor communities and communities of color, which leads to predictable behaviors, including self-medication, because of a lack of public health resources in those communities, a lack of mental health resources in those communities. And I will tell you, as President of the United States, one of the things that I will implement is that we have mental health care on demand, and we have drug treatment on demand, because right now, even for those folks who are short of a crisis, let's say a suicidal episode, and then they can go to an emergency room, short of that, folks need to wait in line 3 to 6 months to get treatment. And so what ends up happening? During that period of time, they are still feeling the effects of their addiction and are exposed then to the possibility of being incarcerated. So all of these issues are connected. But one of the big failures of the government of the United States has been the failure to address mental health and the need for significant mental health treatments. And the other is to address the years of trauma that have existed because of exposure to violence and the trauma that poverty produces that has been undiagnosed and untreated. And I would absolutely put in place a priority around that, including putting resources through the federal government that can go into the states to address these issues.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.